In today's video, we bring you a mysterious story related to the jinn. The moonlight had spread far across the sky, covering everything in its silver glow. It was the last quarter of the night. In that deep, eerie silence, a boy was seen walking through different narrow trails and paths of Ahmednagar, heading toward an isolated, ruined building far away from the inhabited area. From a distance, the structure looked completely dilapidated and haunted, but the interior of the ruin was in stark contrast to its inside. A dark and ominous silence loomed. There was no sign of any living soul. As the boy made his way cautiously through the hallways, the only sound piercing the silence was the crunching of dried yellow leaves under his feet. Aside from that, silence and darkness still ruled over the HAVELI. In this pitch-black darkness, suddenly, a faint beam of warm yellow light appeared, as if someone was holding a lantern. When the boy noticed the light, he started walking toward the source. He saw a figure holding the lantern, face completely covered, and wearing a long, strange ritualistic robe. The man gestured silently with his hand, signaling the boy to follow him. The boy followed the mysterious figure through more dark hallways, until they descended into a basement chamber shaped like a hall dot. In the middle of this room, 4 torches were lit on each side, filling the space with an eerie glow. As soon as they reached the underground hall, the mysterious figure vanished into thin air. The boy, now alone, picked up the lantern lying nearby and began walking forward. In the pale, yellow glow of the lantern, he seemed to be searching for someone. In his ears echoed a voice filled with pain and sorrow, calling out to him by name. But the one calling wasn't visible. The voice kept repeating, "I'm here. Come forward, Farhad. Free me from this prison." The sorrowful plea echoed through the hall. Farhad moved ahead slowly. Suddenly, a bright light flashed before his eyes, and he lost consciousness, unaware of anything around him. When he came to his senses, his body was soaked in sweat. For the past several nights, he had been seeing the same dream, someone pleading for help, calling him again and again. He was confused. Was it just a dream, or something real? The present day, it's the 7th day now. "I haven't slept properly," said Fahad. "Every night, the same boy calls out to me for help, but as I move closer, a strange force overwhelms me, and I suddenly wake up." Fahad shared his recurring dream with his friend Samir. After college, Samir chuckled and replied, "Dreams are just dreams, man. Don't stress yourself, and stop reading all those mystic horror stories. These nightmares will go away on their own." But Fahad looked serious. "No, these dreams feel connected to reality. There's definitely some secret hidden behind these repeated visions. I think I need to go to that place." "So, you think you can find it?" Samir asked. "Yes, easily. In the dream, I always walk from my house down a familiar path. I think I can find that place. Maybe it's just a dream. That place might not even exist in reality," said Samir. "But ever since my grandfather passed away, these dreams have made my life miserable." "Samir," replied Fahad, deeply troubled, "my family is very worried about me. I need to uncover the truth behind these nightmares." "Fine. If you don't want to come with me, I'll go alone." Samir tried to reason like a psychiatrist. "Fahad, you were deeply affected by your grandfather's death. Your nerves are shaken. That's why you're having these strange dreams." Fahad became visibly upset. "Great, so now I'm mentally unstable, huh? Fine then, don't come with me. From today, we go our separate ways." Samir, realizing he had upset his friend, backed down. "All right, man, I'll come. Don't get mad. Let's go before sunset and see what's really going on." Later that afternoon, after offering the ASR prayer, Fahad took Samir along and started walking toward the eastern graveyard path, the same route he saw in his dream. Following the map from his vision, they moved farther from the populated areas. But as they walked, they suddenly felt something. It was as if a third set of footsteps had joined them. Samir abruptly turned around. "What is it?" Fahad asked. "I just heard heavy footsteps behind us. Very clear and close." "It's probably just our own footsteps," echoing Fahad replied, lying to keep Samir calm. The truth was, Fahad also heard them, the footsteps of someone invisible, walking just behind them, but he kept it to himself, afraid Samir might back out if he revealed what he truly felt. As they walked deeper into the wilderness, they suddenly heard the sound of someone crying, and then, in the distance, a terrifying, eerie laughter echoed through the silence. The sounds had begun, the sounds of crying and laughing. "What are these sounds, Fahad? I'm getting scared." "What are you scared of, Samir? I'm right here with you. There must be some settlement nearby. Maybe we're just hearing children laughing or crying. There's no way there could be a jinn here." "Why not? Why can't there be jinns? I've heard it myself from the villagers. The path we're taking is haunted. It's said to be home to spirits and jinns." "What have you gotten me into, Fahad? Be brave, Samir. It's nothing like that. Just recite the ayat. All your fear will vanish." Fahad tried to reassure him, but deep inside, he too was terrified. After walking for 2 hours, they finally reached a deserted, ruined building, the same one that had appeared in Fahad's dreams over and over again. There was a deathly silence all around the area, and the shadows of dusk were growing darker. Gradually, the fog and darkness began to cover everything around them. They wandered inside the building for an hour, but found nothing. After a while, they noticed a man inside a room, dressed in ancient clothing. His complexion was pale and yellowish, as if there wasn't a drop of blood left in his body. Dark circles surrounded his eyes, and his body looked like nothing more than a skeleton. He stared at them, unblinking, with eyes that looked as if they could devour them whole. Both of them froze, staring back at the strange man. "Why is he staring at us like that?" Samir whispered. "How should I know, man? It's not like I'm his childhood buddy," Fahad replied. Samir gave him a sharp look. Even in this terrifying moment, Fahad still found a way to joke. "Why have you come here?" the man asked in a flat tone. "We're students of history," Fahad quickly responded. Thinking on his feet, "We saw this ancient structure and, driven by curiosity, decided to explore it." The man brought a venomous smile to his lips. "Tell me your names," he said, pulling out a small diary from his pocket. They introduced themselves nervously. The man then took an old-fashioned quill and, using red ink, wrote down their names in the diary. "All right, follow me. I'll show you the entire building," he said, gesturing ahead. Both of them started walking behind him, but they were deeply unsettled by the man's movements and behavior. Inside the building, they saw skulls of animals and humans embedded in the walls. There were red stains on the ground, emitting a strange, foul smell. An eerie silence and complete darkness surrounded them, except for the man, who held a lantern and led them forward. After walking for a while, they reached an underground basement there. They saw prison cells, and inside them were people of various races and colors trapped behind iron bars. And then they saw the same boy Fahad had been seeing in his dreams, locked behind bars in one of the rooms, staring at them with half-closed eyes. "Help me, free me from this prison," he suddenly shouted as soon as he saw Fahad. Fahad, almost in a trance, began walking toward him. "Who are you?" he asked. "I've been waiting for you, Fahad. Please, open these bars and free me." The boy's voice became desperate and hysterical.
As soon as Fahad touched the prison bars, he was hit with a powerful electric shock and thrown across the room. His head started bleeding, and darkness engulfed his vision. Samir panicked after seeing this. He looked again at the boy inside the cell. His form was changing. The innocent eyes had turned into glowing red embers, radiating pure terror. His face was no longer human. A horrifying, demonic figure stood there now, laughing maniacally while staring at Fahad's unconscious body. A few moments later, the creature extended its hand towards Samir's neck, laughing hysterically. Samir couldn't take it anymore. He could see death approaching clearly. Sweat drenched his body, and his voice got stuck in his throat. He fell into a semi-conscious fainting state. "Where am I?" Fahad asked, as he regained consciousness, looking around confused. It felt like he had just awoken from a very deep sleep. "You're at home, son," a voice answered. "A pious servant of God brought you and Samir home safely. You were found unconscious near the graveyard's back path." A chill ran down Fahad's spine. Moments later, an old man entered the room, smiling gently. "You're awake, my son. Everything will be fine now," the elder said. Fahad looked at his father with questioning eyes, silently asking, "Who is this man?" His father replied, "This is the same pious soul who found both of you unconscious and brought you home safely." But what exactly had happened to them? No one knew. What did you both see there that left you in such a terrible state? "You only regained consciousness after 24 hours, Fahad's father asked. "Yes, Baba. I saw many prisoners in a jail. As soon as I touched the bars, I felt a severe electric shock. After that, I don't remember anything," Fahad said in a confused tone. "I don't understand. Who was that mysterious man? And who was that prisoner boy?" Fahad then narrated everything he remembered. The old man smiled calmly and said, "Those were evil jinns, my son. It was their trap. They entered your dreams and lured you to that place. But you both had recited Ayatul Karima, so you were protected. But why do I see these dreams?" Fahad asked. "Because your grandfather was a spiritual healer, Amil. He had captured many jinns. Those various people you saw in the jail were actually jinns he had imprisoned. After his death, they are now trying to take revenge by targeting his bloodline." "Then why don't they come in my father's dreams?" Fahad asked, still puzzled. "Jinns usually possess women, children, or emotionally weak minds. You are young, still stepping into manhood, not mentally strong yet, and a bit emotional, so they targeted your mind and led you into a trap, risking both your and your friend's life." "All right, but who was that mysterious man in the cloak?" Fahad asked. "The man with the lantern who led us to the basement. Who was he? And that boy in the prison, shouldn't we have helped him?" Fahad asked. The Emil's spiritual healer smiled and replied, "That mysterious man was a human soul who had been murdered by the jinns. They took over his body, and now his restless spirit wanders the ruins. As for the boy, he died 5 years ago. The jinns took over his body and soul, too, and used him to mislead you. They couldn't appear before you in their true, terrifying forms, so they used the form of someone you would trust, someone who once existed. That ruin is a den of evil jinns your grandfather had captured. Those jinns using a powerful spiritual ritual and trapped them in that very place. You're lucky to have escaped their deception. But how do you know all of this?" Fahad asked. The elder smiled warmly and said, "Because I belong to the tribe of jinns. We are Muslim jinns, and we are enemies of the evil jinns. Your grandfather was my benefactor. He rescued me from an evil sorcerer's prison years ago, and he made me promise that whenever evil jinns would try to harm any human, especially his family, I would protect them. Today, I have fulfilled that promise by saving his grandson." The elder jinn's luminous face glowed gently with kindness. Fahad and his father were left shocked and speechless. They couldn't believe the elder standing before them was a jinn, not a human, yet they felt no fear, because he had become their savior. Baba Ji, will I no longer have these dreams now? Fahad asked. No, the jinn replied gently. Just pray regularly and always stay in wadhu. Spiritual purity. You will soon recover completely. He placed his hand affectionately on Fahad's head. Fahad now, deep in thought, realized the importance of Islamic teachings and thanked Allah for saving him from those demonic jinns and horrifying dreams. The adhan, called prayer, for Asa, echoed in the air. Fahad quickly performed wudhu and prepared to go to the mosque, his heart filled with gratitude.